I'm really looking to sampling beats and being able to curate music with those beats.
Take it away, take it away.
It was a new experience too. I've never been in a studio before.
Yes, there you go. Yes, Rachel.
Through the workshop, the mentors taught us how to produce music on the computer and how to work with sounds.
It felt very inviting that they actually acknowledge women of color.
So important to ensure that the industry that I'm in reflects the world that I live in. So for me, it was very important to take part in the Daughters of Harlem project.
The project is called For the Daughters of Harlem, Working in Sound, and it invites young women of color from New York City's public schools to come to Columbia and discuss, make, learn how to record and produce their own music under the guidance of workshop leaders.
So the students are in the studio working with professional equipment, working with professionals, and it's collaborative with each other. So we have small groups of students instead of one-on-ones. They rotate through the 4 instructors throughout the day, so everyone gets to work with everyone else. And in terms of the second part, it's a humanities-based workshop in which we want to bring some ideas from scholarship to these young women in a very real-life way. So we were inspired by a book called Music in Everyday Life by Tia Denora, who's a sociologist. So in that book, she talks about the uses of music and music as a technology, music as a way that very deeply intersects with one's idea of who they are and who they can be.
Music to me is basically how people express how they're feeling and their emotions, but here is more about sounds of everywhere. So music is in your daily life and you don't really know it. So that's how I'm thinking about it differently here. That's what they've taught me.
These instructors are amazing. I'm really interested in the music that they made and the projects that they made as well. I feel that's very creative, and the aspects that they have is very intriguing, and it's also making me question what I'm trying to do with those musical aspects. So taking their ideas is pretty neat.
Right, so that's kind of what happens when sampling is brought into a musical session.
I kind of feel because Columbia is in Harlem, I think that's why this program is so necessary, to be able to reach out to the people of this community, and we've reached out a little bit wider as well, but it's super rare and it's super needed. I mean, I'm well beyond their age, but I feel like I'm living through them and being yes, there are people like me who do this, and I do have a space in this industry, so it's a great platform. It's confidence, and it's that mindset that anything is possible. Right? And not that anything is possible, that you are possible.
Yes, Rachel. There you go. Okay. Yeah, you just gotta listen to yourself. I know that feeling, yeah.
I really love music, so it was really encouraging to work with someone who has experience, and it gave me an idea of how I want to be creative and the process and going into producing and working with music.
The scope and aim of the project was sort of defined by a grant that we applied for in mid-2017. And the granting organization is an initiative that came out of the Obama White House called CATER, the Collaborative to Advance Equity Through Research. And so the mission of CATER really sort of fit what Professor Hisama and I had been talking about for a long time, inequities and barriers faced by women, by people of color, and particularly women of color when it comes to particular kinds of musical spaces, university spaces, and technologized spaces.
I feel like it's unique working with women, especially if they look like you and they come from the same background as you. You can relate to other people because of their backgrounds and because of what they listen to.
It's really important, I think, early on, as early as possible, for children to see themselves represented. So it's really wonderful to have an opportunity where the students can come to Columbia University as high school students and actually sit face to face with one of the top-notch producers, engineers, and songwriters in the country, Ebony Smith, to be able to say, hey, wait a minute, she's doing this, I can do this.
I think it enriches our industry to have diversity along those lines, to have women in every facet of the business, not just in production engineering, but also in A&R and marketing, in development, business development, in legal. It's so important to ensure that the industry that I'm in reflects the world that I live in. So for me, it was very important to take part in the Daughters of Harlem project.
Everybody knows what Columbia is, so for them to open up their doors for us and to give us a chance that we don't really get outside of here is great, and it makes me feel really accepted and just comfortable. And I know the other women here can also agree.